My name is Daniel Kizaya. I'm a 300 level law student at the University of Just. I'm from KB State. My hobbies include singing. I love to act a lot. Reading novels, exploring and meeting new people. I was nominated by Mohammed Muftahuddin from the University of Maiduguri to talk about the famous case of Khalil and Kabolik smoke ball. Before I delve into that matter, I would like to define what a unilateral contract is. A unilateral contract is one where a party promises to perform some action in return for a specific act by another party, although that other party is not promising to take any action. It is a one-sided contract in the sense that only one party binds himself by a conditional promise, leaving the other party free to perform the condition or not, as he pleases. The famous case of Khalil and Kabolik smoke ball is illustrative in this regard. Now, this case involves the defendant's company who produced and advertised smoke balls as a preventive measure against influenza and common cold. The advertisement stated that they would give £100 to anyone who used the product for 3 times a day for 2 weeks but still contracted one of these illnesses. Now, the defendants also stated that they had placed £1,000 in a bank account to demonstrate their sincerity. And then the claimant took up the challenge, and then after usage, still contracted the flu. Mrs. Khalil claimed the £100, but the defendant refused to pay. He claimed that there was no contract in place for her to enforce the claim. The matter progressed to the Court of Appeal, and then the defendants maintained that there was no intention to create legal relations, and the advert amounted to nothing more than an invitation to treat, and at no stage did the claimant inform them that she had accepted their offer. The Court of Appeal disregarded these contentions and affirmed that there was in fact a contract in effect between the parties. According to the court, the situation amounted to a unilateral contract whereby one party offers money in exchange for the performance of a stipulated act, whereas normally an advert amounts to nothing more than an invitation to treat. The request for the performance of an act made it an offer. Now, the court stated that there was no requirement for Mrs. Khalil to inform the defendants that she had accepted it. The undertaking of the challenge was tantamount to an acceptance. The first question that comes up is, what is the principle encapsulated in this case? Now, is it possible to go into a contract with the whole world? That's the principle. It is possible to go into a contract with the whole world. As you can see in the famous case of Khalil and Kabolik smoke ball, it illustrates by the holding of the court that it is possible. How do you go into a contract with the whole world? How can an offer be made to the whole world, rather? It can be made by a person who is aware of the offer, by complying to the terms of the offeror. Such an offer can be made by way of advertisement, which can be read by many people. Now, in this case, in the court held that deposit of £1,000 into an account is demonstration of the defendant's willingness to rely upon their product in light of this challenge. Essentially, therefore, a contract is unilateral where the consideration consists of actual performance in return for a promise, which Mrs. Khalil actually executed. Now, the consideration here is regarded as executed. Because of time, I would like to stop here. And I would like to nominate Ibrahim Oyewale from Bayero University, Kano, to talk about what property law entails. And I would like to wish our Muslim brethren happy Eid Mubarak, and I would like to shout out to LSWK for the opportunity. Thank you all. I love you all. Bye.